Hello, and welcome to my madhouse. I'm Jackie, and today we're going to be talking about a few things that have happened since the last time I made a video. Don't worry, the seizure-inducing background has been removed. Mostly for my safety, not yours, because I really thought it was funny, but a lot of people said, no, Jackie, bad. And I said, I want to fucking do it anyway. That's me. Anyways, hi, I'm Jackie. I'm currently in the process of rearranging some things, cleaning some things, and doing some things, but I decided it's video time, so let's get into it. Or something.
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. It's a
Okay.
misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that actually...
We don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go if they're criminals. But if they're not, why are they being rounded up and sent out? Especially when he promised to deport the criminals. And now he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going...
Misdemeanor is not a crime, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So misdemeanor is not
It's
a
not
crime?
a criminal act. No, if you get charged with a misdemeanor, that's not a criminal
why
act.
get charged at all then, if it's not a criminal act?
Because we have different levels of crime. Everything is not the same.
So it is crime.
No,
It's just
we
a
have
different
we
level.
have different levels of. No, I shouldn't say crime, but it's not. It's not a crime. You're not breaking the law. I mean, you are breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act.
So it's breaking the law.
It's
No,
breaking the law, but it's
you're
just
not
a
breaking the
different
law.
level
The
of
misdemeanor is not
crime.
breaking the law.
No.
If you're speeding, drinking, get pulled over, DUI.
That's not a criminal act. Well, no,
It's a
if you're
misdemeanor.
speeding, is a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor.
Right.
So it's still breaking the law.
Okay. Well, if you want to qualify that, we're doing semantics.
Because
But
why
what
would
I'm
you
saying,
get pulled over?
but what I'm trying to tell you is everything is not the same. It's all not one thing.
But is it the law?
What is it? The law that what?
Is it a law to come
Is
over
there a
legally?
law?
Is there a law?
There are rules that processes that you should follow. Yeah, so you're breaking rules. You're breaking the rules, but you're not necessarily breaking a law.
So what happens when you break the rules?
Then you suffer the consequences. But the consequences should not. Look, no one is saying no one should suffer the consequences. You guys are getting things mixed up.
I never thought I would see Don Lemon get schooled on U.S. immigration by a U.S. immigrant. I never thought I would say it, despite how retarded he is. Never thought I would say it. A misdemeanor is not a crime. Well, then why do we enforce it? Because it's a crime. Obviously. Obviously, darling. It's hilarious. And quite honestly, yeah, I don't even know why this guy is relevant. Why does he trend on social media at all anymore? Like, dudes, tell me in the comments below, why the fuck is this dude even on the internet anymore? Like, I don't know. My brain's having a glitch out. It's funny. But that's really all I have to say on this story, other than the fact that this Don Lemon can't figure out laws. Did you know entering the country illegally is breaking a law? Did you know harboring illegals in this country is considered treason? Those are actual laws on the books, by the way. I wanted to preface this. Jamie, find the photo. Jamie probably won't find the photo because there is no Jamie. There is, however, somebody video editing these videos. I don't pay them. They do not get paid. Please like and subscribe if you want this guy to get paid. Beyond that, yeah, that's really all I got is Don Lemon's about as brain dead as a recessed monkey that's been bashed in the head with about 40 different baseball bats. In other words, your local Jackie has more functioning brain cells. And I am a certified idiot. Hello, comrades, and welcome to the mandatory advertisement in which I have to actually make money. Today, we're sponsored proudly by North Korea. So, as a sponsored event, please come to North Korea. Are you tired of thinking for yourself, having adequate food to eat, cars that sometimes work, and any other instances of freedom and self expression. North Korea, it's only a dystopian hellhole. So please come to North Korea today. Defectors are welcome. Thank you for the sound. This next little segment is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be quite funny. It's going to be hilarious. Not really, we're talking about China. So, the empire, the great superpower rising, the people that Tim Pool and the government tells me I have to fear. God, I think I hurt my throat. Ouchie. Uh, the people that I'm told that are going to be the next great superpower, the Chinese, the Chins, those Asian guys, right? They're currently having some issues. They're having some massive issues as my glasses glitch out my camera again. Um, so one of the fun things about what's going on in China right now is their social credit system has completely delisted people. Could you imagine living in a society in which we're not really allowed to talk about this yet, but this is what's going on. Uh, when you're in this society, you're completely blacklisted from everything as soon as your social credit score drops below a certain number. You cannot own a house, you cannot rent an apartment, you cannot access banking features, you cannot access jobs. So what do? You lay outside homeless all night because that's all you got to do. That's all you can do. And the problem just continually gets worse. It continually gets even worse. It's not even funny, man. In fact, I'm only covering this to show how gross this system of government that people seem to want to employ in the United States is. True authoritarianism never works in the favor of the people. There is no such thing as a people's paradise. There is no such thing as a utopia. This is where the joke of Jackie's a dystopian socialist came from. Because point blank, yeah, it works in video games and it works in books, but it does not work in the real life. This is what you always end up with. This is what you always will end up with. And this is what I am saying to you right now. Don't be a bitch. I'm always a bitch. That's what makes me important. Or something. I don't remember. So, yeah, no, when it comes down to it, this is what you have to deal with in China. Just random bullshit that people really need to understand is what a communist authoritarian system ends up being. And yeah, I'm showing these videos, I'm reacting to these videos because I'm hoping to gain awareness. Of course, I will be downranked in YouTube because they're a bunch of Chinese cocksucking son of a bitches, and that last statement probably doesn't help me out. Oh well, not like I really care. Bye. Nah, I'm kidding. They got one more story to go, and this one's funny to me because the Twitter outrage on it is what got me, gets me. But I have a little bit more work I have to do on that between these takes. Hate being me. I really do. So, onward to the next. Alright, guys. We're gonna be talking about the Devi Brockman case. The woman who was arrested and detained by ICE for throwing things at their vehicles. And then immediately started screaming, that she worked for WGN, she's a reporter. She's a producer and an editor. She had no equipment with her from what I could gather. And she was recording somebody, I think. Question mark? I can't find videos on that. But to start this with, we have to go to another journalist. He declared himself a journalist, so he must be a journalist. You can't really hate these people enough, you know?
So, as a journalist, I feel very protective of other journalists, very protective of other journalists. And today, a producer and editor at WGN TV in Chicago named Debbie Brockman was aggressively detained and taken away by Border Patrol agents during an enforcement action at Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood in Lincoln Park. There's a woman, white woman, worked at the station since 2011. She's forced to the ground by two agents. She has her hands cuffed behind her back. While she's face down on the street with being cuffed, a local resident who's filming it asks her name, and she goes, "I'm Debbie Brokmen. I work for WGN. Please let them know." She's saying to a guy named Josh Thomas, who works at a law firm and is filming it. And she's accused. They later accuse her, this woman, and if you saw this woman, you laugh at this, Brokmen, of assaulting a federal law enforcement officer. And onlookers are screaming at the agents, saying, "You're fascist. You're fascist." They pick up Brokmen, who's cuffed. Her pants are falling down, throw her into an unmarked silver van with New Jersey license plates. The officers get into the car while residents are screaming, "You Nazi fucks," and they pull off. And while they're pulling off, they run into another car. This is happening in America. And if you're just sitting there and you don't care, this is happening to a journalist, okay? This wasn't one of the bad ones. This wasn't a member of some Mexican gang. This was a journalist doing her job, okay? The odds that Debbie Brokmen punched an agent or interfered with an agent or assaulted an agent is zero. Zero, okay? This is what they do. And also, just want to say, when you hear them all screaming about Antifa and we're coming after Antifa, fucking every person who attacked the Capitol on January 6th was let go. All of them were freed. Some of them are probably ICE agents now. So you're so concerned about, I mean, we are living in an alternative reality, and it is fucking scary. And if you don't take this seriously, they come after them now, then they come after your neighbor, and then they come after you.
Oh, sorry, that's from the previous story. Oopsie. So, yeah, no, in this case, apparently Debbie Brockman of WGN, who was hired around 2011 by WGN, was throwing shit at the ICE agent's car. You know, something that actually is assault. Throwing stuff at people is bad. It is a crime. Please do not crime. As Uzlu says, do not crime. But when it comes down to it, like, uh, I just find it funny that Ron Perlman had to step in and tell people exactly what's going on. You know, how we're in a fascist society that has a lot of problems going on. You know, those kinds of problems. The biggest problems in the universe, I suppose. But realistically, if you're committing crimes, you're going to get arrested. And yeah, whether or not I agree with her journalism takes or nothing, that doesn't keep away from my versions of free speech. However, I do find it funny that Miss Brockman, I do have to continually look over at my other monitor so I can see what her name is because I am not smart. I do find it funny that the first thing out of her mouth is, "I'm Debbie Brockman. I work for WGN." Because, yeah, used to, when you were a journalist, you got away with a lot of shit. But nowadays they're cracking down on activism. If you want to be an actual journalist, talk about the issues, talk about the stories, like I'm doing here. I don't even want to be a journalist. I just want to play Break Arts 3. Literally just want to play Break Arts 3. Maybe. Anyways. The whole case and everything going on in Chicago, anywhere in Illinois, really, is there is a breakdown, a clampdown on the illegal immigration. You know that thing that Don Lemon said isn't a problem? You know, because it's not actually a crime. Because misdemeanors in this country are apparently not crimes, according to Don Lemon. God, his name really fits him. So, yeah, no, now that I have tied all of this into a neat little bow, and I feel like presenting it, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully the advertisement for North Korea in the middle of the video finds you well. Until next time, love y'all. Mean it. Bye.